We have Samirah Saah Raji. She's a real estate consultant and certified marketing strategist. And she's here to talk to us about creating a kitchen that reflects you. Now, you know, women, we like to cook or we like to see what's in the, like how your kitchen space is going to be or what it feels like to stand in that particular kitchen so that before they buy a house or even, you know, before they decide that, I want this. So let's speak to Samirah so she can throw more light on how we can create the kitchen that reflects you. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
You're welcome to Breakfast Daily Weekend.
Thank you for having me.
First time we've had you on the show.
Absolutely, and I'm excited about that.
Great. Let's talk, how do we create, first of all, what's the importance of choosing a particular kitchen, or how am I supposed to know that this is the kitchen for me?
Okay. I'll expand more from the real estate aspect of it. For me, I'm in the real estate space, and what I do is I find homes for my clients and also put in the strategies that helps them to have their return on investment. And one of those things is when I speak to my prospective clients and they come to the house, they usually are like, okay, let me look at the kitchen or the bedroom. If it's the man will indicate that, okay, let me go speak to my wife to come and look at the kitchen or to come and look at the space before then they get to accept that they are going to go for this house. This means that the kitchen is actually a very important space in the house, and the outlook of the place, the functionality of it, and the general aesthetics gives it a very, very, very good importance in making that decision.
Wow. I mean, I'm more into the whole aesthetics versus, I like how you put it, functionality, but let me just say aesthetics versus efficiency, right? So you have people say, well, for some of these particular things, like Eno was saying off camera, I want to do them outside. Aesthetics or efficiency, which one should be priority?
Well, all of it, because the efficiency, functionality actually contributes to the taste of your food. Let me explain why.
Wow.
If you have a very functional kitchen where you have all the equipment that can make you either blend, grind, see what you're doing, that's lighting, it helps for you to deliver properly in terms of the food you have. Traditionally, we have very dark kitchens, or a kitchen where you probably have your blender sitting somewhere else, your microwave somewhere else. You're unable to use the cooking time to be able to deliver.
True.
So when you have all of these things in place, you're enabled to deliver your food properly. And as you know, all stomachs in the house, both family and friends, are fed from the kitchen.
Wow.
What should I consider when I'm, you know, when I see a kitchen? What should be the things that I should look out for?
Right. First of all, size, space, because then it depends on how busy you are going to be in the room. And two, you are looking at your countertops. Are you trying to consider marble tops or ceramic tops? Traditionally, a lot of people consider wooden and concrete. Over the period, they wear off. And also, you know, the value of your kitchen adds on to the value of your house. So if you have a very good kitchen, and probably in the near future, you are looking to sell your house, it adds on to the resale value of your house. So then you should look at the space, you should look at the color, you should look at the arrangement and functionality of the entire space.
Right.
I still just, I'm not even trying to be difficult. I still just want to push on this whole aesthetics versus efficiency thing. Because, interesting, you talk about the space, right? And you mentioned that the space and the look of it can contribute to the taste of the food.
Absolutely.
I just want you to touch on that briefly, then I'll come with my follow-up question.
Okay.
How does that even happen in the first place?
For example, you want to prepare mashed potato. You need a grinder or probably a blender. You need a particular ware. So right now, if you have a kitchen that has the various functions positioned at the right places, where you can plug in, where you can assess how it feels. I mean, let's say a corporate person like me, I would want to go home and be able to prepare mashed potato. I'm not now going to look for where my grinding pot is and all of that. The fact that it's properly arranged or I can reach it makes it easier. For the purposes of this discussion, there are 3 types of kitchen that I would want to emphasize on. Let's say the open plan kitchen, the closed kitchen, and then the outdoor kitchen. You know, before we came on board, she was talking about the fact that in family, they cook outside. Absolutely. Traditionally, we would have all the fufu and everything out there, but it doesn't speak to our current now. You're probably looking to go into probably an open kitchen where it connects the kitchen to the living area, where you can actually be having a conversation whilst you cook. You are probably hosting your friends. They sit around the island. You could serve them there. All this speaks to your lifestyle.
True.
Unlike probably the traditional kitchen where you go in there, you're in your cloth, you're in your shorts, you're going there, you're sitting on the stool, you're grinding. You cannot necessarily host your friends in there.
Interesting. Yeah. This whole new craze about loft apartments, right? So where like the difference or the space separating the kitchen and the sitting area is like some long center cute table and all of that. I'll talk to you. I want you to talk to us because then Charlie, you're frying fish, then the whole house away. So how to manage that? But even before that, there's this whole thing about the feel of the kitchen, right? You go into some kitchens and the whole place is tiled. I don't know what's with landlords and so talk to us about the dangers of that. Then maybe you can segue into creating the kitchen space, the perfect or the ultimate kitchen space.
Okay, I'll touch on your first point, where you have a loft and you have your kitchen in your face. That's the open plan kitchen. Ideally, you would want to have either a pantry or a wet kitchen where you'll be able to fry your fish, pound your nuts and all of that, and then come over to the open kitchen and do the rest of whatever you want to do, the soft ones there. So as then you don't put all the aroma everywhere. And then in terms of the aesthetics, where there are brown tiles, green tiles, yellow tiles, I mean, that's why you need to have or speak to aspects to enable you have a modern feel of your kitchen. So that then you could feel very comfortable in that space. And of course, your kitchen needs to be set up in the way that you need to minimize certain risks. For example, let's say that you have your cylinder right there in your kitchen. It's absolutely dangerous. You need to be able to have it connected to the external places, somewhere outside, absolutely outside your kitchen. So as then, just in case of any emergencies, it takes a longer time before then.
If you stay in the places where I stay, condition to the area boys, they can be so away.
Definitely, you could have a cage around there.
Wow,
but
interesting.
I know that, like, depending on the type of kitchen you have, mostly, you know, you can spend most of your time there as a family. Families bond in beautiful kitchens. Well, no, it doesn't necessarily have to be beautiful, but if your kitchen...
It must be beautiful.
It must be?
No, so on the aesthetics and the efficiency thing, to push you, which one should come first?
Both.
I mean,
functionality.
Functionality, fair. But aesthetics is a close second.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
Putting in your functionality, you end up putting in a very nice layout that then results
some people say, I just want to be able to bend and do my potoyewa. So
it would affect the food you cook.
But even when people have these, you know, modern nice kitchens, they still have their potoyewa somewhere. Because honestly, the potoyewa taste, it can't...
But I mean, the other point is that if you are dwelling so much or a lot on the aesthetics, you can't do the abewedro. How do you say that? In a loft apartment.
Well, the food processors now, which can take
but the food processors, no, it doesn't taste the same. Samirah, you agree with me?
It depends on what you're cooking.
Fair game. Wow, interesting. So maybe you can talk to us about the lighting in the room, and later also about the non-negotiables. So, for example, what should a kitchen have? Is it okay to have just a fridge and a microwave? I've seen some have like a baking tins and all of that, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
if you like to bake.
Maybe you can talk to us about non-negotiables or what you should have in a kitchen. But before that, how bright should our kitchen be?
Very bright. You need to see everything in the kitchen. You need to see what you are putting in your food. You do not want to make a mistake because this is going into your tummy. And then in relation to the functionalities, that what you asked earlier, it's things like microwave, fridge, burner, extractors make up the kitchen, because then it depends on what you are cooking. You don't want your smoke everywhere, so the extractor will help you take that smoke out of the place. In terms of fridge and deep freezers, it's primarily depends on you, because then there are various home types that have different spaces that could allow you to put your fridge either in the kitchen or out of the kitchen. But the non-negotiables would probably be the electrical fittings and then the lightning, because then you would want to be plugging something, taking something, having shelves to be able to keep something. You don't want to have a cluttered kitchen. And besides, you are talking about your lifestyle. You may want to get people coming into your kitchen. It could either be your partner, your friend, and anything. They need to get in to be able to have a very good feel whilst you're there.
Is the picture on our screen an ideal kitchen for you?
Well, we talked about the loft. Why not? Absolutely.
Wow.
Should our kitchens reflect our lifestyle?
Yes, it should.
It should.
Yes, it should. It should.
But
It should.
then the question would then be, how can your kitchen reflect your lifestyle?
Well, I don't want to have a very cluttered kitchen.
Yeah.
I'll not have a kitchen with all my pots everywhere. I'd rather have a pantry to probably put the pots away and have the space to be able to delve into my food and then do the needful. Besides, the reason why you're in the kitchen is to do what? Cook. Absolutely. So you need to be able to be that comfortable to do that.
I've been seeing recently, like anytime someone is showing off a kitchen or something, they'll be like, so there's certain things that they're adding now, what do they call them? Pot fillers over your stove, so that instead of carrying a heavy pot from the sink to the stove, they have a pot filler, so you just open it
there.
and then it fills up your pot with the water that you need for whatever you intend to do with it. I mean,
Don't you
kitchens
like
have
that?
evolved, I tell you.
Don't you like that?
I love it. I can't wait.
Wow.
I
My only
can't wait.
concern is that for a lot of the kinds of homes, right? So, for example, if you are renting a space, it doesn't give you the luxury of creating your own. So, for people like that, how are they able to maximize creating their lifestyle, which now you are now telling us your kitchen could reflect, and managing it really so it's optimal for you, the end user?
Absolutely. Okay. So hence you could have the option of buying. When you are buying a house, you definitely would want to look at the kitchen and see whether the space works. In terms of putting it together, it can be customized. So if the space works, that's all right. But in terms of rental, you have less to do. So when you look at the options of your properties that you want to choose out of it, kitchen is one of the spaces you would have to go see. If every other thing works, but the kitchen probably doesn't, that's where you need to be able to position things in your kitchen properly to get the space to be able to do that. But for rental properties, it will be a bit difficult.
Samirah, my final question.
Right.
There's also this practice about people keeping washing machines in their kitchen, right? I don't know if you've come across it.
Absolutely.
Is that ideal?
It works. It depends on the size of your kitchen, how functional your kitchen is. Some kitchens are as big as the entire space we have here. Others are 1/10 of the space we have here.
Yeah.
So if you have a very huge kitchen and you're able to have your washing machine in there, why not?
Well, I'm not too sure about having laundry in your kitchen, right? Because food, not necessarily dirty clothes. So I'm like, it was a cultural shock for me the first time I saw it. But I realized that for a lot of these new spaces coming up, it was more and more common. So maybe
It's a lifestyle.
It's a
You'll
lifestyle.
probably be wanting to put just in a white t-shirt.
yeah, because like you travel outside and you see,
in the UK it's common because they don't have space. So you have to make
put
it
it
work.
somewhere.
I tell you, you
Actually.
have to make it work.
And how
You
further
have to
away
make it
should,
work.
if you are building, how further away should your washrooms be from your kitchen?
Well, it depends on the hygienic positioning of your washroom. Sometimes your pot will probably be extremely far in, and just the door and access to the kitchen may not necessarily cause a challenge. But then if you are limited on space and you have your pot very close to the entrance, a very good architect will definitely know how to draw up the plan
Navigate
to
it
be
for
able
you.
to position it. So there are properties that have kitchens close to their washrooms and others have it a better way.
Wow,
All
interesting.
right.
Because Charlie, some of the condos I saw in Canada, he was like, Charlie, how do you have your washroom here? And
It's limitation of space.
the next place they're entering, Charlie, they're entering
Yeah.
the fridge, and I'm like, no, so wait. Anyway, Samirah, it was so fun having you. Maybe we should do this again.
Absolutely.
We have to do a proper, because there are people who live in family houses, there are people who have shared kitchens.
Absolutely.
There you go to campuses, Legon, for example, the kitchen is a shared space. So how do you navigate that? All of that. There are a lot of more we could have touched on. So
Right.
we'll probably have you again
Very well.
so we can delve into all of those issues. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me as well.
Samirah Saah Raji,
Yes, please.
a real estate consultant.
And
And thank you so
certified
much.
marketing strategist.
She did
Thank
from
you so much.
she did from brutal actually. Anyway. All right, so guys, that's all time we'll allow us for this part of the discussion.